Okay, so one of the things I'm most requested for in my emails and comments is a list of things I would like in a game that would make it good. Apparently, all my videos are enough. They want a more general, easy, packaged on a golden plate list. And for years I've been saying, no, screw you. But, so what the hell? I'll try. And this is that list. Number 1, the struggle is great. Now, by great, I don't mean really hard, really easy. I kind of mean fun, but yet in a sense of accomplishment way. If it's too easy, then you don't feel you really did anything. If it's too hard, you give up, or it's like pulling teeth. You really don't want to do it anymore. It's sort of the difference between good comps and cheating comps. A good computer player, it's fun to beat because you have to outsmart it or use tricks on it, use strategy. But a cheating computer, well, you either don't have much of a chance or you just have to really overpower it or overwhelm it. And that's not as fun as getting to use strategy and intellect. Just overpowering it isn't fun. And the most important thing here, adrenaline punched. If you're going up in adrenaline during the combat or the fight or whatever that game has, then to me that's a sign of a good game. You're actually involved in it intensely, so much that your body's adrenaline is going. That's a great struggle. Now, if you can play the game while doing your homework, not so much a great struggle. Okay, number 2. Has to be fun almost always and in all ways. No boring times, no long boring times, such as games with boring leveling, or wait times for no apparent reason, waiting to get in a game, waiting in line for some raid, or waiting, I don't know, just because you died and you're waiting for the next round to go. That's boring. No heavy redundancy, doing something over and over and over again. I remember playing WoW and going, man, if I have to do one more fireball, I'm going to go crazy. Or if I have to kill one more spider, I'm just saying, it was boring. Driving me to madness, boringness. There's one. Fun for beginners and experts. Now, there are a lot of games that are fun for one or the other, but not a whole lot that are fun for both. One of my favorite games of all time, Tribes 2, I have to admit, was not fun for beginners. Beginners got reamed on that one. It was really fun for the experts, people that played for several months, but beginners, ouch, that was harsh. So you got to try and do for both, which is difficult. Always room to grow, but not necessary. You shouldn't put a ceiling on anything or artificial limitations. They should always feel that they can get better in some way, that they can work to some other goal that will allow them to play better or have more fun. But at the same time, you shouldn't force that on them. It's kind of like, having a kid that likes to play the piano, but then forcing him to play every day. I mean, you should allow him to play, but not force him to do it, because he'll go mad and break his piano. Or whatever you guys did to your piano. Now, the last one, no cheaters or actual game problems. Obviously, you can't stop all cheaters, but a lot of games don't even try to stop the cheaters. They don't even put any effort into keeping them. It's just so easy for the hackers or something. The only cheaters there should be are ones that are, super uber hackers that manage to get in. And even then, they should be taken care of right away. Of course, if they can't, it's probably because the game sucks. Actual game problems like memory leaks or crashing or stuff like that, that should not be there. Why? because it's not fun when your game crashes on you at all. So those things have to be gone in order for the game to be fun, almost always. By the way, is it a big surprise that the game should be fun? I mean, so many games are not fun. And that is like the most important thing to a game, I think. I just thought I should mention that. That's why I circled it. See? You see game developers? See that one? Yeah. Okay. Number 3. Thought-provoking. Now, believe it or not, a lot of people play games. They're stimulated by having to think about those games. They're thought with it, other than just all skill or very little strategy. Now, some games get to the point of there's just not a whole lot of thought left in them. Like, say, StarCraft. After a while, it was really not a whole lot of strategy involved. Everyone seemed to have the main strategies down. There's like 3 of them. And there wasn't a whole lot of thought left into it. It was just how well you could execute those strategies. You didn't really have any chance to think of new ones because they had already been thought of. And there really wasn't any benefit from using any more strategy because it was just gone from the game. Now, I wrote not enforced here. And believe it or not, there's some people that, don't like to be forced to come up with a strategy all the time, or a new one every single time, or something like that. They like, I have these few strategies and I like them and I want to use them over and over. I don't want to be forced to go into strategy over and over. Keep in mind, it's much more rare to see a game where strategy is so enforced that people go nuts, but it is quite existent in some case. In a lot of cases, when it does happen, it ruins the game. That person's bored by all the basically putting in strategy for the sake of putting in strategy. It's sort of thing to make it more difficult, but really it just eventually pisses people off. I guess like Myst or IQ games or crap like that. Another thing that helps with thought is true player creation. And that has to deal with whether it's making decks like Magic the Gathering, weapons. In several games you're allowed to make weapons. Oddly enough, those weapons usually don't make a difference. A lot of the weapons you can make, you can usually find better ones. So it doesn't really